Navaughn Donaldson, we're able to have other people and not necessarily replace. I don't really like saying that because, I mean, they're people, they're players, they're not just chips or pieces or an NCAA game. But we're going to have somebody that can kind of fill the void to a certain extent. And Osmian Traore, a JUCO offensive lineman who's a redshirt sophomore. And then we also have Cleveland Reed, somebody we have been waiting, who was a 4-star guard that signed with Miami. I believe he was class of 2018. I believe he was a part of that, the 8th-ranked recruiting class in 2018. Took a red shirt in 2018, had some struggling as far as leaving the team, entering the transfer portal, and then coming back in 2019. But recent pictures of this young man, he's dropped his body fat percentage at least about 10 to 12% down. And he's lost a lot of weight. I mean, he was like 330-ish, almost pushing 340. He's down to like 315. So he's really focused in and really changed his body type and bringing that dog tenacity that we need on the interior. Now, is he ready to play just yet? We will have to see. If and when we do have training camp, we will have to see. But there's two players, when we talk about Osmian Traore and Cleveland Reed, that we would love to have come in and fill the void at that left guard position, because we were able to get Jared Williams, to transfer from Houston, 6'7", 305 pounds, to come in, and he's probably going to solidify either tackle spot. In my eyes, I believe he's going to solidify the right tackle spot, and we're going to trust John Campbell on the left tackle side. And then that means we can move DJ Scaife, our best offensive lineman as of right now, into right guard, where he really belongs as a 6'3", 305, 310-pound guy. He's a lot better at guard, and he's a suffice tackle, but he's a really good guard. So now we upgrade at guard, we upgrade at right tackle, and now we be able to have our battle for the left guard position.
Robert Armstrong, looking at election year, wanting me to run. Robert, this is the first time I've seen your handle in the live chat, and if I've missed you in the past, I apologize, but man, he's going directly to the White House for me. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. I don't think I want to handle this mess right now. Do you think that there's been an inordinate amount of decommits in the past from Miami?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That was one of the biggest issues. And yeah, you're correct as far as if you hone in on one, you don't see any of the other. But I mean, ESPN even released an article on this. I know 247 did too, where I want to say it could have been the 2017 recruiting class that would have been number one in the nation if you just would have took all the Miami decommits and put them in that class. It was bad. And then I also know C.J. Henderson was a part of that recruiting class, and then he ended up going 3rd overall, being a Gator. So it's a couple of and Coach Manny Diaz has done a really good job as to not really accepting things with players for 2-3 years down the road. I mean, if you look at a class of 2022 right now, I do not even know if they've even accepted a big-time commit past 2022 moving on. They're deciding to be very careful on accepting commitments from sophomores to be juniors and being very careful on just doing that. Now, that's not saying that we're not recruiting you. That's not saying that we're not building a relationship with you and your head coach at your high school, especially locally. But what happens is Miami comes in, we get this guy to commit, it sends a blinking radar to everyone else nearby that, hey, this kid might be good. Miami's trying to grab him and keep him too early. And then they come and swoop him, and now you're Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida, whoever comes and snags the young man. And then by his senior year, when it's time to put pen to paper, he's far gone from being a Miami Hurricane commit, let alone a Miami Hurricane signee. So I know that that's something that Coach Manny Diaz has worked on, starting to pull back on accepting commitments from players too early in the process.